streaming. This is again I'm a singer, eternal voice, Sotero. Okay, welcome back now to our topic, distillation. Okay, but before going further, let's review the definition of distillation. Distillation is a chemical and physical separation process under the study of Bachelor of Science in Chemical Engineering, in which it tries to separate different boiling points of a certain combinations of mixtures. Could either be liquid to liquid, liquid to solid, gas to gas, or it could be a multiple solutions or mixtures or binary mixtures, something like that. Okay, the K term there is boiling points, and also the process of condensation and evaporation. Okay, something like that. Okay, that's very clear already. Then we will evaporate, okay, the liquid. When we evaporate the liquid, it is through heating, right? That's why we have the reboiler to produce the distillate, which is a liquid molecules. So that's why it's in the overhead product, our distillate, because it comes from the vapor that is being heated to the reboiler in the equipment attached in our distillation column. Okay, now we speak about condenser. We need to condense the vapor. Okay, like that. It's gonna be like that. Condensation, gas to liquid. Okay, we will produce now the distillate, something like that. So sometimes it can be a little bit confusing. Okay, but if we dig it out, we can really understand. Okay, again, condensation. What is the definition of condensation in our high school? Okay, chemistry high school. Condensation is a process of changing, okay, liquid to gas, like that. Liquid to gas, meaning to say, if you have the liquid, then it will produce the gas. This is condensation. Okay, oil. Okay, reverse, gas to liquid. Okay, things like that. Okay, gas to liquid siya, kaya liquid to gas is evaporation. You should be alert, ha? Okay, sometimes it will be mixed up, just like this, very spontaneous. It should be mixed up in the definition. Oh my gosh. Okay, again, condensation, a change from gas to liquid. We meaning to say, we condense the vapor to produce a liquid known as a distillate. Okay, that's why our condenser is in the top. We produce an overhead product. Top in the distillation unit, there's a condenser there attached to the reflux drum. Okay, because the reflux will go back to the distillation unit. Okay, and then it will be reboiled again in the reboiler, and the process will be continuing. It's a cycle process only. There's no heat loss, okay, in this separation process, or else this will not be applied. Okay, we cannot apply the McCabe field method if there's a heat loss in the system. So meaning to say the heat loss is zero, because the reflux will just coming back to the distillation unit. Okay, it's very clear. And there are evaporation again, as I mentioned over and over again. We need to evaporate the liquid to produce the condensate. Okay, that is the bottom product already at the bottom, because the liquid has very high boiling point magud siya. Bug up ang liquid kaysa gas. That's why the boiling point of liquid is lowering. Okay, nasa siya sa ubos in the bottom section, and the upper section will be the vapor, because vapor has a lower boiling point. Gaan siya, meaning lower molecular weight, something like that. Okay, so mubuwag siyang buwag. Vapor is going upward, liquid is going downward. So they are in equilibrium with each other. That's why the process of the law of conservation of energy also in chemistry will be applied here. So the law of equilibrium. Okay, that's why we have to draw the equilibrium line also. Okay, guys? So in here is very enjoyable. This problem is very enjoyable. This is very lengthy. How can I manage to solve this? This is very lengthy really. Okay, again, I have to read the problem. A mixture of benzene and toluene containing 60 mole percent of benzene is to be separated to a given product of 95 mole percent benzene and a bottom product containing 10 mole percent of benzene. The feed enters a column at its bubble point. Ayan naman tayo, may bubble point. Okay, it is proposed to operate the column with reflux ratio of 2.5. How many theoretical plates needed, and how much feed to be introduced? how much distillates to be produced, and how much broken product to be produced also. Okay, in this problem, take one by one the terms. What do you observe? If there are difficult terms you did not understand, new terms in your understanding. Okay, in here, shout out to you, Mat Emily Cantal, for watching the live streaming of I Am a Singer, Eternal Voice. God bless Dai for passing by. Okay, now, okay, there is a bubble point. I discussed this bubble point last one day ago. Okay, because in science class, especially if you're taking up sciences courses related, especially BS Physics, BS Chemistry, okay, and when you graduate in BS Physics, you will become a physicist, okay, if you work in an industry, the same field. And if you are studying BS Chemistry after your graduation and you work in an industry related also to chemistry, you will become a chemist. Okay, not necessarily you are a registered or not. Okay, as long as you are working in the same field. Okay, because you know that is another issue for the regulatory. But what I am talking is your actual field after your graduation. You get the point? Okay. Just like if you are a graduate of chemical engineering, then you're working as a chemical engineer, then you are still a chemical engineer. Okay? That is not an issue of registered license or not, as long as you are working with the same field. Okay, let's make that clear. Okay, there's no discrimination in that part. Okay, what I'm trying to imply, when you graduate in a particular course and you are working with that same specialization, you are a person, you know, expert to that, regardless of your, you know, legality documentation as a registered or a licensed engineer or registered or a licensed scientist. To become a chemist and physicist, okay, you have also the license to do that, right? Okay, so it's just the same. Okay, that's what I'm trying to discuss. Okay, and then if you are a graduate of any engineering courses, automatically you will become an engineer, regardless also with documentation. Unless you are working on a certain government, okay, funded, you know, plans, then registered or licensed engineers are necessary for signing documents or whatever, okay? Or if the private sector wants to hire registered or licensed engineers, then it will be quite better for them. It depends on them also in their, you know, what do you call this one? Discretion. How to, you know, how to accept applicants in terms of their qualifications. Okay, there's no such rule for that. It depends on the employer requirements, okay, and qualifications, something like that. That's why, okay, you can look for a newspaper preferably, okay, preferably, because that does not mean that you should be a registered, preferably only an advantage, but not necessarily necessary. Okay, it's because the experience also matters in the qualification experience. Okay, 10 years experience of being a chemist, 15 years of being a chemist, and then there is also a fresh graduate of BS Chem and passer of BS Chem license, but he don't have also the experience, something like that. They will have to evaluate the totality of the criteria. Not only for, you know, focusing for that certain, you know, individual or specific criterion. Wow, criterion. Yes, criterion meaning singular, okay, and criteria is plural. Okay, we should not forget English grammar, huh? In everything, something like that. Oh my gosh. Okay, something like that. Detachment tato, naman. Wow. Okay, going back to this problem. Okay, mag-growing na tao eh. In fairness, may food na dyan yung coffee here. My gosh. May actually jigbog now. Wow. Okay. I will be able to get a blank sheet of paper here. A lot of problem solving na talaga siya. Wow. And this time, class, we need to be accurate. You know, accurate in the graphing or in the dimension, you know, plotting of points according to the data of the problem. This is not hypothetical as what I did yesterday, that we have only to assume values of the mole fractions or mole percent or the concentrations of the bottom product, overhead product on the feed. But here, we'll try to have an exact and accurate, because there's a data here and you have to plot that y and x. Just like an algebra, okay? The graphing is very important here, okay? So I have the ruler here, and this is expressed in centimeters, inch, like that. And then this will be having a conversion. Anyhow, you will be just consistent in drawing the plots, huh? What I'm trying to do is we need to be accurate, or else our, the number of trays will not be enough also, or not true. Okay, you have to count 1, 2, 3, 4, or pila ka buok trays, how many trays needed to establish this continuous distillation in a certain industry, okay, so that they can save cost during the engineering designs, something like that, of their company for the very first time, right? It should be in the very first time that they should engineer and design equipment that is necessary for the various physical and chemical processes for their plant or for their industries, so that they can produce their useful products to be distributed or to be sold out all over the world or locally. It's always like that, local or international distribution of the products. But of course, we need to discuss several separation processes, and we will start to distillation. Okay, like that. Okay, now mag-drawing ko. Saan man ako pag-manage? Wow. Okay, so we have, nakakaloka. Okay, things like this will enable me to remember my memories in college and in high school. Okay, there's a lot of graphing. Okay, so y-axis, ganon. Nakakaloka. Okay, y-axis. Ang hirap kumita ng pera. Okay. Ganon. Okay. My gosh. Y-axis is a vertical axis, ha? Ganon siya. Okay. Laoy. Fairness. Dapat equal din siya kung gamiton. Para makuha siya. 0.1, 0.2, 0.3. Ganon siya. Chuga-chucho, right? So 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5, 0.6, 0.7, 0.8, 0.9, 0.10. Nagamay naman kayo siya. So, okay. 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5, 0.6, 0.7. Taas ang kaya akong graph. Wow. Sige lang po, taas ko na akong graph class. Okay, para makuha dyan ba? Okay, so 1, nakakaloka. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7, 8, 9, 10. Uy, taas tayo. Uy, ay lang. Ang band paper, dito yung basod. Wow. Makalinaw man yun. 2 over dayon. Matiti, na-graphing paper. Uy, dali na kayo ba kayo? May baglis-baglis. Oh my baglis good. Isod kaayo. Oh my gosh. Sige na. Moji ni ang life. Wow. Okay. Lawin. Kalo ka. O ganon. And then, laoy. Iba sa dyan i-accurate ba? Kaya ano, kung di dyan accurate, di dyan magasya ang mga kuan. Chuba-chucho. Okay, guys. Forgive me, I can speak in Bisaya, Tagalog, and English. Okay, because I am a Cebuano. Okay, like that. I am an American nationality, whatever. Okay, so it could not be denied. I can speak in Bisaya and also in Tagalog. Oh my gosh. Okay, so ako na lang siya i-bax. Bax meaning B-O-X. Uy, hiwi lagi kaayo. Kaloka. Sure ka? Hiwi June. Nasamot. Katawanan sila, di ba? Did you go my vision ever pang civil engineering, architecture, right? So there, grabe sila makakuan, maka-measure. Okay, but Laoy. Sure ka? Wait guys ha! Ato dyan yung tinudon. Okay, pumugasay na ni. Wow. Kaloka. Diba? Laoy. Tinudon dyan. Oh, muna na siya guys. Uy, bahala gini gamay ha. Oh. We need to draw a square box. The vertical is the y-axis and the horizontal is the x-axis. Now we need to agree that our y-axis will be just the vapor. Actually, it can be reversed. It depends on the situation what you are trying to refer. But in me, I am comfortable that the y-axis will be your vapor and your x-axis will be the liquid or the distillate. Okay, liquid distillate are the overhead product. And your y-axis will be the vapor, condensate, and the bottom product. Something like that. Perfect siya ha. I have 3 terms in my discussion. Okay, so that the students will understand also. Not only using one term all throughout the semester. Wow, semester. Parang sakto talaga ang dating. Pinigero kasi June. Fairness. Okay, now, I want to put diagonal in the center. Okay, this is where bases in the intersections of other quantities later on. So first step siya, draw a diagonal line in the center of your Bax graph. Kani siya ba? Okay. Oh. Ato na siyang taruhan mo ng ikit. Diba? Kaloka. Okay, so draw a diagonal line. Okay, like this. Okay, after drawing the diagonal line, guys, what will be the next step? The next step is we will be able to intersect the equilibrium line again in chemistry. What is equilibrium? Okay, because you are using the term equilibrium. When you mean of equilibrium, this is a point in which the certain phases will be equal in their behavior, in their characteristic, assuming they have the same properties, okay, characteristics and behavior, something like that, in a steady state flow. Steady state flow, meaning to say, instantaneous flow. Wow, instant talaga siya. Okay, instantaneous meaning pinakalit niya mga flow. Kung siya, steady. Okay, muna siya Fermi. Law of conservation of energy and law of conservation of matter in chemistry will be applied also in unit operations. So this equilibrium line, this is a line in which the vapor will be in equilibrium to the liquid. That's why we plot them and connect with each other, or else we cannot connect them if they are not in equilibrium with each other. You get the point? It's gonna be like that. We need to understand why we need to connect them. What's the relationship? Because they are in equilibrium with each other, or else we cannot connect them. Okay? It's gonna be like that. Birds with the same feather flocks together, like that. Then, if you are not the same with the other people, then you will not be connected with him because you have different views, different inclinations in life. For example, the other one is introvert and you are extrovert. You know that point in English? Extrovert meaning you have a personality that is love to going out always, every Friday. Okay, even though you don't have money, and then if you are an extrovert person, you have to go to city just to do the window shopping, and in that you will be happy. So that is extrovert person. You are allowed to go outside even though you did not do important things with yourself personally, just to make fun of what you are seeing, the beauty of those places, even though you will not spend. So you will just go there because you enjoy what you see around the environment. It makes you happy. So that is extrovert person. Now, the introvert person are the reverse. They are the person that doesn't go always outside. Okay? Example, me. I don't want to go outside. Okay? Most of the time because I enjoy inside the room. Okay, so these are introvert person. I can focus with myself to do something that make me a better person, like this, vlogging or whatever, communicating my family also. So I am an introvert person. It doesn't mean also that you'll never go out, but you will never go out excessively and continuously. Okay, you will only go out if it is really necessary and important. Okay, and then another example also of an introvert person, if there are any parties, birthdays, and occasions, you love to be in the room only, you will never associate to those people. Okay, that's introvert person also. Okay, it doesn't mean that you are, trying to avoid them, but that is your comfort to be alone. Okay, having things around you that makes you happy inside your room, or let us say you're just happy because there is God with you, you are communicating with each other, no need for other people to be with you. Okay, God is enough for you to be alone, something like that. Talk to him the same as what you did to other people. Okay, so that's introvert person. Okay, it's gonna be like that, introvert and extrovert person. Okay, in life. Okay, going back to this box. Okay, the first thing is the diagonal line. The second thing is the equilibrium lines. Equilibrium, our topic is equilibrium, that's why I connect that analogy in my discussion. Okay, for example, if you have the same objective, you will go together. So you are in equilibrium with each other. So what I'm trying to emphasize, this is not literal. This is not word for word in understanding. So I use the equilibrium term in another sentence that would justify that this equilibrium term is not word for word in effect. It can also be applied to other sentences. Okay? But in here in science, that's what it means also, but it can also mean another thing in the, in other utilization of sentence, but the term is just the same, equilibrium. Okay? Like that. For example, me, I am in equilibrium to others who love also singing because I have talent in singing, something like that. So we will be going together because we have the same interests, the same inclinations, and the same talents that God gave to us, and we will be happy for that. Okay, and there is also another people that are, very sporty. Wow, sporty, athletic, something like. He will also love to go to people that is really love also athletics. Okay, normally. Okay, so things like that, similarity and common. That what we mean by equilibrium. Okay, going back to distillation, meaning to say here, the vapor and the liquid are in equilibrium. Okay, they go into the same pattern during the vaporization stage and condensation stage in a distillation unit. Okay, now we're going to connect points na talaga siya. Okay, now here, X and Y. So X will be your vapor, Y will be your liquid. Okay, X will be your condensate, and Y will be your distillate. Now guys, in here this is unique. In distillation topic, this is unique because your vapor and your liquid has its own mole fractions the same. For example, if I have the mole fraction, I represented it as an XD, mole fraction of the distillate. The liquid also has its own XD. Okay, and the vapor also has its own XD. So if I connect that one, both of them has like that. But in another topics in unit operations, it will not be like that. Okay, it's separate really. For example, Henry's law, Rayleigh law, in physical chemistry or in any topics of, thermodynamics, that will not be the case. But distillation is special because, the y-axis or the vapor has also mole fraction the same with the liquid. Diba? Ang saya special. Okay, pareho siya ng mga chupa-chuchu. Okay, ganon. Okay, now, we need to write the data. So mag-create na taong mga points guys ha. Mga point 1, point 2, para maka-establish na taong thermal equilibrium. Okay, ganon. I-accurate na ba dyan ako ang mga measurements para makakompute dito sa mga fairness. So, 1, 2, 3, oh my gosh, how can I do this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Oh gosh, 13 divided by 2. As promised, gusto ko mo accurate ba? So I have to do it. Okay, so 13, I have a calculator here. Okay, 13 divided by 2. I think it's 6 point something, right? 13 divided by 2. But to make safe, use the calculator, right? 13 divided by 2. Yes! I told you, 6 point something. So 6.5. Ganon. So saan pa? Talaga? So, 1 plus 1 divided by 2, gano'n, di ba? Kaya 6 man siya, di ba? Ang i-count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 man siya. Okay, so 13. So, mga 0.65 ang tunga niya. Okay, my gosh. So, 1, kaloka? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, mga something here. Ganun, chupa-chuchu. Okay? This will be the center ha. So, muna siya akong center. Muna na itong 0.65. And here will be the 0. And here will be the 1. So, mag-create tayo na para ma-accurate ang atong mga kuan para na-accurate room. Diba? Ang saya-saya. Okay, so 0.65. Ganon. Okay? Kaloka. Okay? So, 0.1. Very accurate. Wow, very. Talaga. Okay, now, ato mong i-divide ang 0.65 into 2 so that we can determine the half of it in an x-axis. Okay, so 0.65 divided by 2 is equal to 0.325, so it's also be accurate here. Okay, so 0.65, how can we manage this? So, talaga. Okay, so ang iyang kuan ay 0.3 something. So, okay, 1, 2, 3, mga dili-ari. Okay, muna na siya. So, 0.325. O, ganon. And then, guys, ito mo i-divide into ang 0.65 sa 1 to be accurate also. Okay, so ganon. So, 0.65, charot. Okay, 0.65 plus 1 divided by 2, guys, right? So, how can we do this? 0.65 plus 1 divided by 2 is equal to, oh my gosh, 0.65 plus 1 divided by 2 is equal to 0.8. Wow, accurate. 0.8 siya ang tunga diri-ari. So we need to put that here. Oh my gosh. 0.8, how can I do this? So 0.8 sa mga something. So 1, 2, 3, lawi. Guys, daw ka na ba kung bata? 1, 2, 3, ito kong binasa. 4, 5, 6, muna ako kay eyeglass. Okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hala. So 7 divided by 2. Kaloka. 7 divided by 2 is equals to 3.5. So 1, 2, 3, mga something here. Okay? So muna na itong 0.8. Diba? Kaloka. And then, nag-draw na tayo ari of x-axis, no. We should also project points in our y-axis accurately the same as what we had in the x-axis. Oh, ganon. Okay, first, we need to have the half. Okay, so, okay, this will take a long time, guys, because I don't have graphic paper. Okay, there's the dimensions. 1 divided by 2. I have to use the ruler for this. Okay, 0.5. Okay, how can I do this? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Did it look scripted? The vlogging is not scripted, so it's taking a longer time. So, how can I do this? So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 divided by 2. Okay, mga 6.5 kaya po, diba? Okay. Okay, 6.5. Nakakaloka. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, madali-ari siya. Oh, 0.65. Ganon. So, ang sunod yapon, pareha naman siya, no? Ito mag-equal ang vertical axis and the y-axis. So also, we can project point 8 somewhere along in the halfway of 1 and 0.65. Okay, ganun lang gagawin siya. Okay? So, i-divide natin siya dito. So, guys, nawa ko sa screen because my, my bed is used as my, is my, used in my plotting of points. How can you say I will be here so pakita ko ninyo? Okay, ganon. But it's not necessary that you will always see me, right, in my vlogging, as long as you will hear my voice, and that will be enough, right? Because my communication and my language is very clear. And please also try to interrupt me if I'm talking too fast, and I will adjust and make it slow. Okay, so that you can understand what I'm talking to also. So it's not good also that I'm talking very fast, and then my audience in a virtual platform of discussion cannot understand what I am referring to. Something like that, right? At least I can manage to slow down my English language and my English communication. Guys, this is really my weaknesses, even in college or in high school. I talk too fast, really. Okay, because if I don't talk too fast, some ideas in my brain cells will be evaporating, or it will be lost or vanishing in my brain cells. Okay, or ejecting in my brain cells, or eradicating in my brain cells. A lot of terminologies of evaporating, losing, okay, eliminating, something like that. We can use that interchangeably, okay? Not necessarily word for word, As you can observe me, the way how I talked, sometimes I use profound terminologies, okay? Because that's coming from journalism, okay? We are taught by that. In high school and in college. As I told you again and again, so I am one of the editors of the publications called papers in high school and in college. So that's why you cannot expect me all the time to use simple terms. Okay? Please understand. It doesn't mean that I do this, I am boastful or arrogant. This is reality. That's why I don't have also to be hypocrite. Okay, just to go along with the level of other people. Really, this is me. Okay, so if I'm telling you the truth, this is really true. Okay, I cannot resist in using deep terms sometimes in my discussion. Okay, though I'm not a BS mass communication graduate, but I have the capability also. As I told you over and over again, I love to become a broadcast journalist prior to become an engineer. Okay, but my academic scholarship don't have this kind of, course. That's why I shifted to BS Chemical Engineering because I love also chemistry. Okay, but in the first place, I want to become a broadcast journalist. Okay, but it really came true. Okay, that's why talking to you like this, okay, very spontaneous and extemporaneous. Okay, right? If you cannot understand it, oh, Sir Sotero, slow down. I cannot understand what you're talking to. But please forgive me for that. Okay, going to the graph here. Gosh. Okay, 0.65 plus 1. Okay, like that. Di ko bagay sa engineer kayo. Engineering in English. Okay, not all. Okay, but only few. But generally speaking man. Okay, 1 plus 0.65. Okay. 1.65 divided by 2. Wow, 2. Yun talaga? 0.8. Ganon. Kaya ko na siya mo. Murag akong tang Muslim dito. Dito ka pungan. May cash. And may intonation also. The tone after the words. Something that's power. Like that. Okay. Pasensya na good guys. Because I joined also, oratorical contest, declamation contest when I was young. Okay, so it could not be denied. I'll do this sometimes. Okay, I really love to do that also. Okay, when I was in college and high school also. Okay, going back to this. Okay, 0.8, and I have to make this a division. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Akong gi-off ang ACT sa tugnaw dyan guys siya. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, divided by 2. Ganon. Ganun Sotero? Yes, ganun yun Sotero. Okay, 3.25. So 1.2, 1. Malibat ko sa'yo guys please forgive me because I have an eyeglass. Okay, so 0.8. Digit perfect akong vision. Okay? I don't have a clear vision. Okay? Nadaot na sa iba sa basa. Okay? And like this, 0.8. And then 0.65. Okay? Like this, divided by 2 is equals to something. Okay? Divided by 2. 0.325 gihapon siya, pero mo establish siya of 0.325 here. Okay? Ganon. Oh my gosh! 0.325. Ang anak ni Janice. Kaloka. Diba? So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 0.325. So, 1, 2, 3. Ganun siya. It's in here. Okay, 0.325. Okay, tulo lang. Uy! Dugay kayo mo man. Uy, friends. Lami na isolve. Wow. Lami talaga. Okay? Umana na siya itong graph, guys. Sa equilibrium line. Muhatag lang kung yung mga upat ka so that it will not take a longer time. Through this plotting of points, we can establish and we can obtain the equilibrium line. This equilibrium line, this is the point where the vapor and the liquid will be equal in behavior, characteristic, motion, and whatever chuba-chuchu. Okay, like that, in the law of conservation of energy and matter in chemistry. Something like that. So, we need to connect na. So here, guys, first, 0 to 0 is the first connection between the vapor and the liquid. Diba? Saya special. And then we have to put that here in the, okay, 0. Ang ganon. Atong i-emphasize na circle siya. And I have to use another pencil pen to distinguish really through colors so that we can detect visually what is the color for this line. It helps us to understand and comprehend very well if we use different colors in our discussion also. Though this is only a minor issue, but it needs to be like that so that we can easily see visually what's going on in our plotting moment. Wow, plotting moment. May ganon? Okay, 0. Okay, now the next plot, guys, will be 0.05 and 0.13. Just follow the pattern in the table that I showed to you now. Okay, so 0.05 and 0.13. Ang atong x is 0.05. So how can I do this? Let's say, kagamay sa 0.05 oil. So 0.325 plus 0 divided by 2. Nakay 0.176 here. Ganon siya. Uy, kagamay. 0.176. I-divide mo dyan ito ang 0.176. Guys, paano siya? 0.05 ba ya? Gamay dyan guys siya. Wow. 0.176 plus 0 divided by, okay. 0.088. Ay, my goodness. 0.088 pag siya dili ari so 0.088 gamay jud kay siya uy. So ang ako ani pag-manage. So 0.088 divided by 2 is equal to 0.04. Okay, madiri ari siya. So, itugkad nimo ha. Guys, in this case, guys, na murag very small value siya. So you need to construct an imaginary horizontal line and vertical line to make it easy for you to understand because the space is very limited to connect, and sometimes it will confuse you also. Just like as I project a broken line and going to the diagonal line, the same also in the y. Okay, the y is 0.13. So masaka siya gamay, no? Okay, so 0.325. Okay, divided by 2, 0.1625 nakadali siya. Kaloka. So 0.6. So, atong i-show ang 0.16025. Madri-ari. Okay, diri siya. Okay, madri-ari siya. Okay, 0.625. 13 man siya. I-break pa din niyo siya ang 0.1625. Di ba guys? I-break niya po niyo siya ang 0.1625 ha? Para hindi mo din siyang 0.13. Ganon. So, let's check out. 0.1625 divided by 2 is equal to 0.008 ang katunga niya. So, ang katunga na po niya mo, ano mo na po di siya. Kaloka. Okay? Gamay dyan kayo, eh. So, plus 0.1625 divided by 2 Oh, muna na siya point yun. No, saka na siya gamay, muna yung point 13. Diba? So, itugkad na mo diri ari, muna na yung first point. Okay? You got the point? Okay? So, namatay first point. I-intersect na to ang y and x-axis. Muna siya primero. Guys, in this topic, we need to be patient. Okay? You have to do this carefully and slowly with having a patient attitude. Okay? Because if you don't have that kind of attitude, then somewhere along the way, you will be confused along your plottings. Something like that, and you will be disappointed. Oh my gosh, I have a very ugly graph, something like that, okay? And then you need to solve directly, very eager, and it could affect also the quality of your problem solving. Okay, something like that. So, the next one is point 1 and point 21. Point 1, ang atong kuan, x-axis. Okay. Point 1 ang atong x-axis. Ganun. Hala. What is na siya niliari, di ba? So, 0.1716 plus 0 divided by 2. 0.088 at 176 divided by 2. So, natay 0.132. Yung 0.1 naman siya. So, it's gonna be taas siya ubos. Oh my gosh, wait ha. 1.32. So, taas siya gamay. So, di-ari siya. Connect yan. Ganon. Ganon. So, ang atong y-axis guys, kay 0.21 man siya. So, flat gihapon siya. So, 0.21. So, asa mo siya nakita? So, ato na siya i-divide. Okay, let's divide the 0.325 plus 0.1625 divided by 2. So, 0.24 siya, and then sa original na plotting, 0.21, at least doon na kayo siya, no? So, atong paugsan gamay. O, ganun siya. Connect. Ganon. So, this will be your plot here. Muna ni siya may tabo. Kaya siya ng plot, second plot siya, ha? Okay. Third plot will be, sama ni siya, 0.2 and 0.375. 0.2. So, asa nakita ang 0.2? So, 0.176 char. Okay? Plus 0.325 divided by 2. So, what? 0.25 and centers is gonna be like here, ang atong 0.2. Okay, good. Ganon. Ano niya, ang Paris ay 0.375. So, sa amin na ito, i-divide ko rin siya pa diba? So, 0.65 plus 0.325 divided by 2. 0.485 man siya. Dako ra siya, no? So, okay. Ubsan na ito gamay. So, 0.4875 here. Okay. Plus 0.325 divided by 2. So, nakay 0.406 pa dyan ito nga. So, 0.406 plus 0.325 divided by 2, nakay 0.365. Okay, pakasan ito gamay here. So, connect. Ganon, nadire. Okay, so wala naman may green oil, nadire. Guys, nag-book na rin akong coffee, in fairness. Okay, my coffee got cold now due to thermal equilibrium. Okay, like the heat transfer through conduction. Okay, like this. Okay, so mag-plot na sa katulog. O, ikaupat na data guys, oy. Okay, ganun. O, ang ikaapat guys na plotting kay 0.3 of 0.5. Very easy because this is perfect. 0.3 and 0.5. Ang x na is 0.3. Suffer along the way. Oh gosh. So, mga, okay. No issue. 0.176 plus 0.325 divided by 2 is equals to 0.25 very ari. So, plus 0.325 divided by 2. So 0.25 plus 0.325 divided by 2. So we have 0.2875. So pataas na ito gamay dari ari. Ganun. So, from accurate siya, ganun na to siya ha. Okay. Ala, oy. Kila perfect yun siya. Okay, mo dyan giingon. Wow. Kaloka. Okay. And then, 0.5. Asa na kitang 0.5? Okay. Let's project. 0.4875 plus 0.65 is equal to divided by 2. Nakay 0.56. Ako na kayo siya no. Yung siya center. So, pag nila itong gamay. Okay, here. Okay, guys. Here. Grabe, quantitative relationship. Okay, so, pauksan ito gamay here. Uy. Kana. Connect na yun. Okay. Para makakuha na dyan ka ba? So, muna din mo katulog. Ako pa. Ano siya kapag mga plotting. Guys, nawa, isaka no. The plots are rising. Until such time, we can obtain a curve. Okay, above the diagonal line. And we can establish now what we call as the upper operating line or the rectifying line. It's just the same in meaning. Okay? Like that. It is a process wherein the vaporization took place. Something like that. Okay? You get the point? Okay. So, ang ikalima na to guys, 0.4 and 0.6. Okay? 0.4 and 0.6 asa ka ani? Okay? So, 0.4 plus 0.65 divided by 2. 0.724. Taas na kayo siya. Okay. 0.65 plus 0.325 divided by 2. So we have 0.4875. Hala, kakasagit siya ba? Okay. So we have to adjust mga kung ano siya. Ang tumaan niya kay kung ano, 0.4875. Okay, it's here. Na, 4 naman siya. So, So, asa may lapita? Okay, so summary arrow here. Okay, 4.8 man siya. So, ari na lapita sa 0.225 plus 0.4875 is also divided by 2. So, 0.4 dahil sa tunga niya. Ganun siya ka-10D. Okay, sa tunga. So, sige lang. Try to plot na siya. I-plot natin siya ha. Guys, wait for a while. Okay, i-plot natin siya ng kung ano siya ganon. Ganon. And then, ang 0.4 guys, ang pari sa 0.4 is 0.6. Hala, dili na siya. So, 0.6, 0.65, plus 0.4875 divided by 2. This is 0.56 siya. So, wala pa siya gamay dari-ari. So, 0.56 plus 0.65 divided by 2 is 0.60. May katuma siya dari-ari. Okay, ganon. I-plot tayo mo siya. Chubas. Okay? It's here. Una na ka. Ikalima guys. O nga plot mo ni siya. 0.4 and 0.6. Na ikakuan. Ikapit 2. 0.5 and 0.7. 7. 0.5 and 0.7. Okay. How can we manage this one? So 0.4875 plus 0.65 is equals to divided by 2. Oh my gosh. 0.65 plus 0.325 divided by 2 is equals to 0.4875 nga, diba? So 0.7 plus 0.65 divided by 2. So we have 0.4875 plus 0.65 divided by 2. It's gonna be 0.568 to diri-ari. Okay? Kaya kung ano siya? 0.5 naman din siya, no? So, kung ano siya? 0.56 diri-ari. Okay? So, kung 0.56 na siya, so 0.56 plus 0.4875 divided by 2, diri-ari 5.2, pero kung kamay siya, ano siya, ganan. Okay? Try to locate na siya. Nakalokalize siya siya do. Okay? But sige lang. Go dyan. Okay, ganan. Okay? So, hindi mo siya nilocate ng gano'n. I-straight mo ang kuan. Ganon. So, ganon. Okay, then ang atong kuan is 0.7. So, 0.8 plus 0.65 divided by 2 is equals to 0.725. Gosh! Okay, 0.725 here. Okay, so 0.725 ang katungan niya sa 1, 2, 3. So 3 divided by 2, 1.5. So 1.1 somewhere here. Okay, so 0.725 na siya. So 0.725. Okay, yung 0.7 naman siya. Okay, 0.725 plus 0.65. 0.725 plus 0.65 divided by 2. 0.68. Okay, kung 0.68 siya real, wala pa siya gamay. So, 0.68, okay. Ang katunga, wala pa siya gamay. Oo ba? Oo, wala pa siya gamay. Plus 0.725. Kakaloka. Divided by 2. Kung real siya, sa pinaka-center din siya, atong i-move na. Real. Connect. Okay. Laway. Dapat pala pencil. Okay, gamay naman siya diameter ang kuan, lead. Matter mo pala siya sa lead. Okay? Now we have the 0.5 and 7. Kapila na siya guys. 7 points. So, tapos na. Sunod na tayo kuan. Sunod 0.6 and 0.77. Oh my gosh. 0.6 and 0.77. So, it's gonna be like, okay. So, 0.568 plus 0.65 is equals to divided by 2. That is 0.6 mga dali-ari siya, no? So, connect na siya. Okay. Ganon. I-connect din mo siya para maka-obtain ka chuba-chucho. Okay? Okay, guys. Are you still there? And then, 0.77. Okay, 0.8 plus 0.725 divided by 2 is equals to 0.76. Dari-ari sa katungan niya. Okay, wait for a while. Okay, it's here. That is, saan siya? 0.7625. Okay, so kuan man siya, 0.77, i-divide pa siya ito kaduha. So, plus 0.8 divided by 2. So, 0.78, masobra lang, maubos lang gamay. So, dari-ari. Okay, so connect. Okay, connect. Uy. Diba? Ganon! It's here. Ano na siya, kapila na siya. 8. 0.6 o 0.77. Okay, now we go to 0.7 and 0.83. Susunod. Okay, 0.7. Asa naman ito siyang 0.7? Okay, 0.7. Dapat na siya, no? So, 0.7. So, 0.65. Okay, plus 0.8 divided by 2. So, 0.725. It's here, 0.725, but we need to do this. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 3.5. Really? Yes. 3.5 divided by 2. 1.75, something around here. So this is the 0.725. And then, gamay lang siya konti. So, it's in here. Okay? So, let's do this. Sige pa, hindi mo siya kuan. Okay. Plain. Okay. Kaloka ka dyan. Okay. It's gonna be here. I-plot mo siya. Okay, ganon. So, go. Ganon. So, pila ang kuan? 0.83. La, go, June. 0.83. So, 0.8. 0.8 plus 1 divided by 2. So, 0.9 ang katunga. Okay, guys. Are you still there? As I told you, we should be patient in doing this. Okay, 1, 2, 3.5 also. 3.5 divided by 2. 1.75. So, mga somewhere along 5 na dinari. So, muna yung kuan. So, 1 plus 0.8 divided by 2. 1 plus 0.8 divided by 2. So, this is our 0.9. And that is, guys, 0.8 and 0.9 ang ako sa taana. So, 0.8 and 0.9 siya. Okay? So, 0.8 ang kuan, ang atong x-axis ay 0.9 ang usa. So, yun ka siya. Okay, matitso lang siya ang 0.8. Okay, ano siya? Exact. Wow. Lagi. Okay, ganon. Ganon. 0.9 na yung dari-ari. Okay. 0.9. Atong unahon yung mga exact. Okay, o may problema ang exact. Okay. O, rin na siya. So, muna ni siya yung kuan. And then, ang 0.83 guys, no? Kaya kuan siya. In fairness, 0.8 plus 0.9 divided by 2. This is 0.85. Oh my goodness. So, we need to extract where katungan niya is gano'n. So, 1.5 divided by 2. That is 0.75. So, mga somewhere along here. Okay, this is our, pila na siya? 0.8 plus 0.9 divided by 2. 0.85. So, mga 0.3 mga dari-ari. Okay, ganan. So, i-project din mo dari-ari. Okay? O, project. Nanata. Okay? So, guys, nanata 0.8, 0.9. So, 0.9 and 0.95. Second to the last. Okay. So, na kayo 0.9. Divide mo doon ang kuan. So, 0.8 plus 1 divided by 2. So, 0.9. Oh my gosh. Oh, what's gonna be happening here? Okay, my gosh. 3.5 divided by 2 is equal to 3.5 divided by 2 is gonna be 1.75. Okay, is somewhere along right here. Okay, diba? Okay, muna yung 0.9. So, let's say mo ang 0.9. Okay, mo na dyan siya. Last na siguro niya siya. O, di ba, oy? Okay? Di pa ba yung last ng 0.9? Okay? So, 0.9 guys, it's in here. 0.9 to here. Okay, ang 0.9, ang pares na guys is 0.95. Ilago lang siya point something. So, 0.95, mga pila na siya. So, 1 plus 0.95 is equals to divided by 2. 0.975 somewhere along the way here. Okay, gonna be like, oh my gosh. So, 1.7 divided by 2. 1.7 divided by, really? Yes, 2 is equals to 0.85. Pilang to yung pares? Okay. 0.9 plus 1 divided by 2. 0.95. It's in here. Katuba na siya, uy. In fairness. Okay, so pwede, dito na siya. So, i-plot mo diri ari. Ganon. Okay. Ganon. So, and then our last guys is 1, 1. Bingo! We have now an equilibrium line. Ito na siya i-connect. Oh, before we connect that, guys, we need another color to connect that one. Guys, it's in here. We need to connect these plots, okay? From here to here, and to the upper portion, this will become our rectifying line, or our upper operating line, something like that, okay? We connect that one after plotting, okay? So blue, color blue, okay? What is that in blue? You remember the blue? The blue color. Okay, the blue color has a 425 nanometer wavelength. Tama ba? Ang red, 670 meter wavelength, something like that. And then the purple is 400, 480, right? Ganun. So in colors, each color has its own wavelength. Okay, so that we can see that in our eyes after it will reach its desired frequency. Okay, like okay, so it's gonna be like this. We'll connect this one. Oh gosh, I love this. Okay, okay, now wait. Oh, this is our equilibrium line. This one. Not so perfect because we are not using the graphing paper. And our dimensions, even though I use the ruler, sometimes oh, there's a slight, the movement of my fingertips when I do that. So it will become also slight errors. But never mind, as long as we can project the equilibrium line. This is the equilibrium line where I'm referring to. Kaning curve. The upper curve above the diagonal line is what we call the rectifying line or the upper operating line. Okay, now what is the rule for distillation? We need to compute for the slope and the y-intercept to connect it with the mole fraction of the distillate. Now, here, what is the mole fraction of distillate? We will read the product.